The digital world, much like the physical world, has its share of secrets. These secrets are often hidden in the vast expanse of data that flows through our networks every second. As investigators, we are tasked with uncovering these secrets, piecing together digital trails to solve crimes and bring perpetrators to justice. This involves sifting through mountains of data, looking for that one piece of evidence that can crack the case wide open. But the digital realm is a constantly evolving landscape, and those seeking to hide their activities are becoming increasingly sophisticated. They are always finding new ways to cover their tracks and evade detection. This is where anti-forensics comes into play. Anti-forensics is a set of techniques designed specifically to thwart digital investigations. Anti-forensic techniques are methods used to hinder or mislead digital investigations. These techniques can be incredibly varied and complex, making the job of a digital investigator even more challenging. They can range from simply deleting files to employing complex encryption methods that render data unreadable. The goal is always the same: to make it as difficult as possible for investigators to find and interpret the data. One of the most common anti-forensic techniques is data deletion. This might seem like a straightforward way to get rid of evidence, but in reality, it's much more complicated. At first glance, it might seem straightforward: delete a file and it's gone. However, in the digital world, things are rarely that simple. Deleted files often leave behind traces that can be recovered. However, in the digital world, things are rarely that simple. Deleted files often leave traces, fragments of data that can be recovered with the right tools and expertise. This is because deleting a file doesn't actually erase the data from the storage device. Deleted files often leave traces, fragments of data that can be recovered with the right tools and expertise. This is because deleting a file doesn't actually erase the data from the storage device. Instead, it simply marks the space occupied by the file as available for overwriting. This is because deleting a file doesn't actually erase the data from the storage device. Instead, it simply marks the space occupied by the file as available for overwriting. Until that space is overwritten, the data can still be recovered. Instead, it simply marks the space occupied by the file as available for overwriting. This means that until new data is written over the old data, the original information can still be retrieved. Another common anti-forensic technique is encryption. Encryption is the process of transforming data into an unreadable format, making it inaccessible to unauthorized individuals. Encryption is the process of transforming data into an unreadable format, making it inaccessible to unauthorized individuals. By encrypting their files, criminals can effectively shield their activities from prying eyes, even if the data falls into the wrong hands. By encrypting their files, criminals can effectively shield their activities from prying eyes, even if the data falls into the wrong hands. This makes it incredibly difficult for investigators to access the information they need. There are various encryption methods, each with its strengths and weaknesses. Some encryption methods are relatively simple to crack, while others are incredibly robust, requiring significant computational power and expertise to break. Some encryption methods are relatively simple to crack, while others are incredibly robust, requiring significant computational power and expertise to break. The more advanced the encryption, the harder it is for investigators to access the data. The rise of anti-forensics presents a significant challenge for digital investigators. As criminals become more adept at covering their tracks, investigators must constantly adapt their techniques and tools to stay one step ahead. As criminals become more adept at covering their tracks, investigators must constantly adapt their techniques and tools to stay one step ahead. This requires continuous learning and staying updated with the latest advancements in both forensic and anti-forensic technologies. This requires a deep understanding of both the technical aspects of anti-forensics and the criminal mind. By understanding the methods and motivations of those who use anti-forensics, investigators can develop more effective strategies for uncovering the truth. By understanding the methods and motivations of those who use anti-forensics, investigators can develop more effective strategies for uncovering the truth. This ongoing battle between those who seek to hide the truth and those who seek to uncover it is at the heart of digital forensics. Encryption is a fundamental technology that underpins much of our digital lives. It is the invisible shield that protects our personal information from prying eyes. From securing online banking transactions to protecting sensitive data stored on our devices, encryption ensures that our digital interactions remain private and secure. Encryption plays a vital role in safeguarding our privacy and security, acting as a digital fortress against unauthorized access. However, the same technology that protects our data can also be used by criminals to conceal their illicit activities, creating a double-edged sword in the digital world. At its core, encryption is the process of transforming data into an unreadable format using a mathematical algorithm, making it inaccessible to anyone without the proper key. This algorithm, known as a cipher, uses a specific key to encrypt and decrypt the data, ensuring that only authorized parties can access the original information. The key is essentially a secret password that unlocks the encrypted data, making it readable again. Without this key, the data remains a jumbled mess of characters. Without the correct key, the encrypted data appears as gibberish, effectively hiding its true contents from anyone who might intercept it. There are two main types of encryption: symmetric key encryption and asymmetric key encryption, each with its own unique characteristics and use cases. In symmetric key encryption, the same key is used to both encrypt and decrypt the data. This method is straightforward but requires secure key exchange. This type of encryption is typically faster and more efficient than asymmetric key encryption, but it requires a secure method of sharing the key between the sender and the receiver, which can be a challenge. Asymmetric key encryption, on the other hand, uses two different keys, a public key and a private key, adding an extra layer of security. The public key can be shared freely with anyone, while the private key must be kept secret. This ensures that even if the public key is intercepted, the data remains secure. Data encrypted with the public key can only be decrypted with the corresponding private key and vice versa, making it a robust method for secure communication. The strength of an encryption method depends on several factors, including the complexity of the cipher, the length of the key, and the overall security of the implementation. Stronger encryption means better protection. Simple encryption methods, such as those using short keys or weak ciphers, can be easily cracked using readily available tools and techniques, posing a significant risk to data security. However, more robust encryption methods, such as those using long keys and strong ciphers, can be incredibly difficult to break, even with significant computational power. This makes them the preferred choice for securing sensitive information in today's digital age. The prevalence of encryption in today's digital landscape presents a significant challenge for digital forensic investigators. When faced with encrypted evidence, investigators must employ specialized techniques and tools to attempt to decrypt the data and gain access to its contents. However, the process of decrypting evidence is not always straightforward and can be time-consuming, resource-intensive, and, in some cases, impossible. One approach to handling encrypted evidence is to seek out the encryption key. This can involve searching the suspect's devices and storage media for files containing the key, as well as analyzing network traffic for any signs of the key being transmitted. In some cases, investigators may also attempt to recover the key from the suspect's memory, or by analyzing the behavior of encryption software running on the suspect's device. If the encryption key cannot be obtained directly, investigators may attempt to decrypt the data using brute force methods. This involves systematically trying every possible key combination until the correct one is found. While effective in theory, brute force attacks can be extremely time-consuming, especially for strong encryption methods using long keys. The time required to crack an encryption key using brute force methods increases exponentially with the length of the key, making it an impractical approach in many cases. In some instances, investigators may be able to exploit vulnerabilities in the encryption software or implementation to gain access to the encrypted data. This could involve exploiting known security flaws in the software or taking advantage of improper configuration settings. However, exploiting such vulnerabilities typically requires specialized knowledge and expertise, and there is no guarantee that a vulnerability exists or that it can be successfully exploited. Steganography is the art of concealing data within other seemingly innocuous data, effectively hiding the very existence of the hidden message. This ancient practice has evolved with technology, becoming a sophisticated method for digital communication. Unlike encryption, which aims to make data unreadable to unauthorized users, steganography focuses on making data invisible, blending it seamlessly into the background noise of digital information. This makes it a powerful tool for covert communication. This technique exploits the fact that digital files often contain redundant or unused data spaces that can be manipulated without noticeably altering the original file. These spaces are like hidden compartments, perfect for storing secret information. Imagine a seemingly ordinary photograph of a sunset. It looks like any other beautiful image you might find on the internet or in a photo album. To the untrained eye, it's just a beautiful image capturing a serene moment in time. However, hidden within the subtle variations of color and pixel values could be a secret message, a hidden map, or even malicious software. These hidden elements are undetectable without specialized tools. This is the essence of steganography. The message is there, but it's hidden in plain sight, cleverly disguised within the digital fabric of the image. One of the most common techniques for implementing steganography is least significant bit, LSB steganography. This method is widely used due to its simplicity and effectiveness. This method involves altering the least significant bits of the data representing the cover file, such as an image or audio file. These bits are the smallest units of data, and changing them has minimal impact on the overall file. These alterations are so subtle that they are imperceptible to human senses, yet they can carry a significant amount of hidden data. The original file appears unchanged to the naked eye. For example, in a 24-bit image, each pixel is represented by 24 bits of data, determining its color. This provides ample space for embedding hidden information. By altering the least significant bit of each color channel, one can embed hidden data without noticeably affecting the image quality. This makes it an ideal method for covert communication. Steganography can be used for a variety of purposes, both legitimate and illicit. Its applications are as diverse as the digital world itself. On the one hand, it can be used for digital watermarking, protecting copyrighted material, or even sending secret messages in covert operations. These are legitimate uses that enhance security and privacy. On the other hand, criminals can exploit steganography to hide data related to their activities, such as stolen financial information, communication logs, or even malware. This darker side of steganography poses significant challenges for cybersecurity experts.